Yeah, Legs, I got to piggyback with you on that one because when I look at the situation in Philadelphia, James Harden is going to get his money no matter what because they gave up too much to get him. No matter who the coach is going to be, that is going to be the case. They're going to cash it in on him. And then when you look at Doc Rivers' situation, if Doc Rivers is run out of Philadelphia, rumors has that he could be landed back in Los Angeles coaching the Lakers. So that is not that big of a deal. His career is going to go on, both of those guys. But Chris Paul, at 37, 38 years old, the opportunity of a lifetime, having the best team potentially in the NBA. The West is somewhat down right now. And we know the history of Chris Paul in the playoffs. We've been pulling for him for years. Last year, I'm not even a Phoenix fan, but I was pulling for him to beat the Milwaukee Bucks. But guess what? They got derailed. Time is running out, much like you said, Leg. So at stake for him and his career and his legacy, Chris Paul, for sure, 100%.
Both of y'all are wrong, but that's okay.
You're outnumbered. You're outnumbered.
How are we going to be wrong, Stephen A? Tell us how we're wrong if we're wrong, boss.
I'm about to tell you. I'm about to tell you, Key. I'm about to tell you. Chris Paul is phenomenal. And being 36, about to turn 37 in a couple of months, right now, I challenge anybody to tell me a better point guard, pure, quintessential, prototypical point guard. Who's a better point guard in the game of basketball than Chris Paul at this moment? We look at athleticism, guys that finish at the basket, the Ja Morant, and the spectacular. But when you talk about a floor general, an extension of the coach, an umbilical cord per se, somebody who runs the team the way a point guard is supposed to run a team, Chris Paul is the best point guard in the NBA, in the world right now. It's not even close. Now, having said all of that, we recognize that. Sure, the window is closing because of what you pointed out, and there's pressure in that regard, you and Keyshawn. Y'all are not wrong about that. But we look at a guy that's 6 feet, undersized, can barely touch the rim for crying out loud. He ain't dunking on nobody. His athleticism is not what speaks out about him. It's the ball handling skills. It's the passing ability. It's his mind, his ability to be the floor general, to make sure everybody else is doing their job. Those are the components that contribute to the greatness of a Chris Paul. So what I'm saying to you is that when win, lose, or draw, we're going to talk about him in that light. How are we going to talk about James Harden if he wets the bed?
The way we have been. That's
right.
That's what I'm saying.
This is going to be really bad.
We're already skeptical about him. That's what I'm saying.
Chris Paul is under pressure to win a chip. James Harden is under pressure to be relevant.
Show up?
Yeah, but you also mentioned the pressure that's on James Harden is to be able to cash in at the end of the day. And what I said is that's going to happen regardless.
No. Time out. Tim Legler's right here with me. Oh, how wrong you are, my brother.
No, I'll tell Molly to run it back, Stephen A. You said that he's
I know what I said.
Money.
No, I know what I said. I'm saying you're wrong to assume he gonna get that money from Philly no matter what.
Yeah, that
you are wrong.
So you gonna give up all that to let him walk out the door?
What are you saying? That they won't resign him? He's saying
I'm saying
he won't
that
I'm talking about the $200 million.
Oh, right.
Oh, he ain't getting that money. He don't show up. That Daryl Morey he won't be able to walk the street if he pays Harden that money. If Harden don't show up,
he's never faced anything like he's gonna face in Philadelphia if he doesn't show up in this playoff.
Yeah, he gonna catch some heat. But you telling me, Stephen A., they done gave up the farm to go get him, and they gonna let him walk out the door and
No, I'm not saying that, Key. What I'm saying to you is that this man is in pursuit of like $200 million. I'm telling you, that amount of money, Daryl Morey can't walk the streets of Philadelphia if he gives it to James Harden, if James Harden doesn't show up.
In the playoffs.
It won't happen, Key. It won't happen, I'm telling you.
Hey, we're up against it, but I just got to say this. I thought you would have for sure went Kyrie Irving. After all you've talked about Kyrie this season, and then now that he can play full-time.
Well, because I think Harden's worse. I think Harden's in a worse situation right now than Kyrie Irving is in Brooklyn. Because remember, Ben Simmons ain't on the court. They got excuses. I'm not going to accept it because they still got KD.
They're nervous in Philly.
No, they're nervous. Philly's a different ball game. I'm telling y'all what I know.
I know, but you
still have
KD and Kyrie.
Right. By the way, Molly, James Harden, you understand he can't go out, right? Oh, these playoffs.
Oh, you mean after?
You know how you go hang out and all that stuff?
No,
he can't do that. But I promise you, I promise you, if he's struggling, Let that brother go out in Philadelphia and he's struggling. Am I lying?
Oh, no, you're 100%.
Let him go out and he's struggling. It'll be a problem.
On point.
It'll be a problem.
I thought it's a
please,
city.
And I know one of the 4 or 5 spots he's
better
going
order
to go to.
Okay.
I've been in those spots.
That's right.
A lot, Stephen. He can't go.
All right. So
I
much
love
for
James
the
Harden.
city of
I'm just telling
brotherly
y'all
love.
what I'm telling you. I know Philly.
All right, we'll leave it there. Only
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.